let me start to go through it here in just a second. All right, so here's the ramp that you're looking at. You're told that this entryway is 3 times the height. This height right here is x. The width of each of these ramps is 3x. And then they tell you that this whole length here is going to be 21x plus 6. Oh, okay, so your question is, I probably should put that. So what is the volume formula for these? Okay, so when you're looking at this, the last thing is that the left ramp is twice as long as the right. So this distance from here to here, compared to here to here, if this is y, this is going to be twice that, or 2y. All right, when you're looking at the volume for the prism, which is what the ramp is, okay, the volume is going to be 1/2 base times height, the area of your triangle, and then it's going to be times the height of the whole solid. So when you're looking at this, the triangle itself, so this triangle is going to be these 2 triangles here. Okay, so when you're looking at the way that these are set up, what you would want to use as your pieces is, if you know that this whole thing is 21 plus 6, what you can say is that 2y plus 3x plus y has to equal 21x plus 6. So if you go through, we want to solve for what are the lengths of each of these ramps. The way that you can kind of measure that is, if you take the whole sum of all these parts, 2y plus 3x plus 1y, that has to equal this expression, 21x plus 6. And so if we want to find what y is equal to, we can combine our y's. 2y plus y is 3y. And we can subtract a 3x from both sides. So we get 18x plus 6. If we divide each individual term by 3, we solve for y. Y is equal to 6x plus 2. So if this is 6x, this distance right here is 6x plus 2. This one is going to be twice that. So 12x plus 4. We just doubled each of these expressions. And what you'll see, and you can find that this is all equal to 21x plus 6. So 4 plus 2 is 6, so we have the plus 6. 6x plus 12x is 18x, plus 3x is 21x. So we do have our expressions.
When it's just it just says that it's like that.
Yeah, so this is for the area for a prism, or the volume of a prism. This is going to be for a triangular prism. It's whatever shape the base is, and in this case, the base is these right triangles right here that form the edges, and so those are the bases of your prism. So what we're going to do for this when we find the volume, so we plug in the given measure. So we have 1/2. The base of this, let's take this larger one. The base of this triangle is 12x plus 4. The height of this triangle is right here, given as x. And the height of the whole solid is the total distance between the 2 triangular bases. Again, that's this distance here. So the height of that is 3x. Okay, and now to this, we are going to add the volume of this second triangle, or the triangular prism. So 1/2 times its base. Its base is 6x plus 2, times its height of the base, the height of that triangle, which is x. And then the height of that solid also going to be 3x. Okay, so this right here would be the expression you'll use. Okay, and then just set that equal to, it tells you that the total volume is 150. So plug in a 150 right here and solve for x. and then you just plug in your pieces so like to get the dimensions here. Okay, so let's take a look at what this would be. Let's go ahead and solve this. Okay, so if we go to the solve feature, we plug in 150 is equal to, and then we just start typing these in. So 1/2 times the quantity 12x plus 4 times x times 3x, and that's all going to be added to 1/2 times the quantity 6x plus 2 times x times 3x. And we want to solve this whole thing for x. Okay, so I've already entered decimals. I put 0.5 instead of 1/2, so my answer is going to be in the decimal form. And so when I do this, I get my value for x, which is the height, as 1.67. So there's my x value. So if x is equal to 1.67 approximately. Oh, did they say rational form? Then if you can either convert this in, or I can go ahead and, if I were to write these as 1/2 instead of 0.5s, it would give me my answer. And hopefully you can recognize this, right? 1.6 repeating. That's a pretty common. Oh, thank you. Okay, so if you put it into the rational form, it'll give you a rational answer. So 5/3 is your x. And then it's just a matter of you plug it in here. So here, if we take 6 times 5/3 plus 2, so that gives you 12 for this measure here. If I take 12 times 5/3 plus 4, okay. So 12 times 5/3 plus 4. Now, what should I expect this to be? If I know that this width, the length of this ramp is twice the length of this one, what should it be? So when I hit enter here, I confirm it, 24. Okay, this x is the 5/3, and then just 3x, or 3 times 5/3 is just what? A width of 5. And so those would be your measures.